Hi guys, welcome. I'm Danzi, and as the name suggested in the subtitle, I will be discussing how I got here as an international student to Canada from Jamaica. First thing, I am not an immigration consultant. I have I'm not an expert on the subject matter. One thing is for certain with the Canadian immigration system, it's constantly changing, and a rule that applied when I did it, which was nearly 2, 3 years ago, may not be applicable right now to the system. So, full disclaimer, I'm just expressing to you what I did. The disclaimer, which was the first. Secondly, we want you to do your research. There's a lot of information that you will be able to discover on the internet, but there's more detailed information that you will discover when you're having conversation with individuals who have gone through the experience. So the more as a part of your research, just a pointer, I am sure that there's a checklist that is there for Jamaica because I used one. The checklist typically will include having a letter of acceptance, proof of fund, police records, a valid passport. These are some of the information that is on the checklist that you can just get the checklist. It's a great place to start. It's very informative, and once you get that going, it's quite easy for you to just mark things off along the way. Let's continue. Ensure when you're picking your school, ensure that it's a designated learning institution. It has a number that is assigned to it, and what this basically means is that the government of Canada has acknowledged this institution as an institution where international students can attend. Number four. Number four is program duration, and your program duration has an impact on your work permit duration. So say for example, you did a 1 year program. For whatever reason why you picked to do a 1 year program, you're only going to be allowed a 1 year work permit. However, if you do a 2 year program or 4 semester program, which could be 2 semester or one program, say for example in HR, and then another 1 year program, say for example in marketing, cumulatively you have you have done 4 semester, and they will consider that you have attended school for 2 full years, and you must be a full-time student. You cannot do it part-time because they don't consider that as a requirement, or you won't be granted the requirement that you need to move on to the next step, which essentially again is your work permit. So 2 semester, 1 year work permit. 4 semester or more is a 1 to 3 year work permit, and in most cases that is exactly what you want. So there are different program types that we can discuss. Say for example, you can do a diploma, and a diploma basically it usually runs for 2 years. So in effect, you will be completing the essential requirement that you need. Or if you are already a degree holder, you can probably complete another degree, but not do 4 years, but do the last 2 years. However, this would be something that you would have to discuss with the institution itself. I cannot tell you if they're going to do that with everything and everyone and every program. That is up to you to do your research. You would have to contact many different schools. You would need to have the discussion to say, hey, you already have a degree in business, you want to have another degree in business, can I just do the 2 last semester and see how that works out for you? Grad certificate. Now these are special because these are what I did. I did 2 separate grad certificates, and they're typically a 2 semester programs. And remember, I said to you before, if you did 4 semester in total, it doesn't matter if it's accumulatively or separate, they will still grant you admission for a 4-year work permit equivalent. So what a grad certificate is, it's that middle ground between your master's and your degree. So you're not really at a master's, but you need a degree to get into the program. As like I said, for one, I did 1 year, 2 semester in supply chain and logistics, and then I did another program, which is another semester in international business management. I got a 3-year work permit. And that way, on average, a semester here in Canada at a community college is between 8,000 Canadian dollars and 10,000 Canadian dollars. So basically, in Jamaican equivalent, that is $800,000 or 1 million Jamaican dollars per semester, right? And this is only if you're going to a community college and maybe a university. If you do feel like you wanted to take that step and go and do your master's, you're looking at, on average, close to $10 million Jamaican dollar. Yeah. So you see, I have a degree. I have a degree in accounts. And I thought if I was going back to school for additional 2 years, then it would make sense for me to do my master's. But then when I realized how much the master's would have cost me as an international student, yeah, I never did cross the bridge there. So we kind of bunks it back down to the grad certificate, which is why I end up doing grad certificates instead. Also, guys, the one thing I will really advise you guys to do is to have your tuition up front. Do not come to Canada and expect that you're going to work the next semester tuition in the current semester. First of all, like, they start collecting your tuition in the first 2 months of the current semester. So say you started your class in January. By end of February, early March, they're already sending you an email that your tuition for the summer semester is due, or is, the deadline is coming up. So if you move to Canada in January, so you have January and February, and by March, you're not going to accumulate $10,000 within 2 months. It's almost impossible. And another important point that I need to make. As an international student, you are only allowed to work 20 hours per week legally. If the government finds out that you're doing something else other than your 20 hours, you will get deported. They will send you home. For real. Like, yeah. In Ontario, currently the minimum wage is $14 an hour, right? So follow this story. So if you only work 20 hours a week, $14 an hour for 4 weeks, at the end of the month, you're probably having $1,200. How are you going to get $10,000 out of that? And granted, you have to consider your living expenses. Assuming that you're not coming to Canada and living with a family member, your rent on average in a shared capacity, you're looking at about $450 to about $700. And shared capacity means that you have your own room, but everything else is shared. The bathroom and the kitchen. Sometimes a lot of houses around the campus, there are 5 bedrooms or 6 bedroom house, and there's just a lot of partying, a lot of drinking, and a lot of this and a lot of that. It depending on your tolerance level and your financial level will really determine what you can endure. When I just moved here, I had one roommate and we got an apartment with each other. So it was just the both of us in there. And that's something else you guys can explore. The only difference with apartment living as opposed to living in a house House are all inclusive. So you pay $600 for rent. It includes your hydro, it includes your internet, it includes heat. Um, when it snows, the landlord will come and they will shovel the snow and stuff like that. In an apartment, if you're paying $600 just for the rent, you have to pay a separate fee for your internet, you have to pay a separate fee for your hydro, and in some cases, you have to pay separately for your gas, for the heat, I think, in some cases. So, again, if your expenses for the month is borderline in $1,000 and you're earning $1,200, it would be impossible for you to save for another semester, right? That don't make any sense. Like, and these don't come here, blow $1 million on a semester, don't have the rest for another semester, and then go home without a grad certificate, not getting your work permit, and still going home $1 million less than you came to the country. Like, yeah, no, sorry. Another thing I did not know about is your passport. Guys, unlike the US, when you go to the embassy at the US, and if your passport is valid for only 1 year and you're granted a visa for 10 years, they will still stamp it in that passport? No. In Canada, it's very, very, very much different. If, for example, you do get a study permit and you did get admission to a school for 2 years, but your passport will expire in 1 year, they are only going to give you a study permit for 1 year. They're going to give it to you the length of your passport expiration date. So that's another thing to consider. Like, if you realize that your passport is about to expire within the next 6 months, I suggest that you get a new passport before you start this process, because no guarantee that after it expires and you go for an extension that you're going to get it. I realize. So again, after listening to this video, or watching this video rather, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section. I will respond to you. I will try my best to give you valid advice. Thank you for watching. I will be making other videos about other things in Canada that, if you have never been here and you don't have someone else to talk to about it, that you just wouldn't know. For example, oh, Canada cold. Well, yeah, Canada cold, but if you wear the proper clothing item, yeah, all right. So unlike in Jamaica where it's hot, if it's hot, then it's hot, right? So you can't do anything about that. With it being cold in Canada, it's a matter of layering, taking off and putting on, taking off and putting on, to match what is going on outside. But that's a completely different conversation. And again, I would like to thank you for watching. Again, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask, and I will help you. Thank you for watching again.